In 1975, Patrick was born in Mississippi.
2 years later, Amy was born in Pennsylvania.
Ever since he was little, Patrick loved the outdoors.
From the age of 2, Amy loved to dance.
Patrick was a natural when it came to hunting, fishing, and spending time on the water.
Amy had a love for science and caring for others.
We met in 1991 at Norview High School in Norfolk, Virginia. After living all over the U.S. from being in a Navy family, Pat graduated from East Liverpool High School in Ohio.
Since her mom was a little bit of a gypsy and married a man in the Navy, Amy ended up graduating from Norview High School in Norfolk, Virginia.
We were high school sweethearts, then dated until 1998 when we were married in a little church in Beaver Creek State Park in Ohio. Soon after, we moved from Ohio and we found a church.
2 years later, we decided to start a family. Hannah was born a month early in 2000.
She was a quiet and 5-pound, 13-ounce baby girl. Hannah loved music, bananas, and her silky blanket.
The big day came when we bought our very first home in Ohio.
In 2001, Levi was born at home with a midwife.
He was a 9-pound, 2-ounce baby boy that had a big voice. Levi loved juice, video games, and any type of ball.
In 2004, Gabrielle made her entrance into the world.
She was a 9-pound, 4-ounce baby girl that had an even bigger voice.
Gabrielle loved dancing, her binky, and eating pretty much anything.
All 3 kids were homeschooled until they later entered public school.
In 2008, Patrick went from being a flooring installer to a flooring store owner and opened Floors by George.
We made many sacrifices as a family to make Floors by George grow and flourish in an economically depressed time. 2008 was a huge turning point for us. We chose to go on a mission trip to Roatan, Honduras that would leave an imprint on our hearts and souls. We both fell in love with the island and the people so much that we didn't want to leave.
While we were in Honduras, we built a home. We met many friends at Vacation Bible School, and we worked in a clinic. In 2011, I started a new journey and enrolled in a 200-hour registered yoga teacher training program and graduated 5 months later. In 2012, I got the keys to open up my very own yoga studio.
We then began traveling more as a family to Virginia, where we met.
We loved being able to take the kids to swim, to go to the beach, and to see all the attractions when we lived in Virginia. The more and more we traveled to the ocean, we realized how much we had missed being around it and being able to spend time with the sand in our toes. We created lots of memories on the water and being outdoors as a family.
Things were going well enough that we were able to move back into the home we purchased in 2001, and we did some updates to the family home. After 15 years of marriage and 24 years of being a couple, in 2013, we decided to go on a honeymoon we have never had.
Our home for 5 days was Montego Bay, Jamaica, the Royal Decameron Resort.
While in Jamaica, Amy did yoga, I did some snorkeling, and we got to enjoy some private time and enjoy each other's company. Amy also dressed like Scuba Steve.
Loving Jamaica so much, we decided to return around Christmas and take Hannah, Levi, and Gabrielle to experience the Royal Decameron Resort as well.
This was the kids' first time seeing the Caribbean. They also got to experience many things in Jamaica that they have never seen before. Amy also got to do yoga again. Punta Cana at Vista Sol was our next adventure in 2014. It was a vacation for us, but also a mini yoga retreat for friends from the Living Waters Yoga Studio. As always, Amy made a few friends. I went fishing and enjoyed some rather big-sized catches of dolphin. And as always, we always got to spend quality time together.
You could say we were definitely bit by the travel bug because in September 2014, we flew to Cancun to celebrate our 16th anniversary together.
Ohio had below zero temperatures, which made a business trip for Floors by George to Cabo San Lucas in 2015 a wonderful getaway to the Rio. There was many sights and sounds. We got to see seals and sea lions and the arches, and Amy also caught a triggerfish.
Later in 2015, Living Waters had another mini yoga retreat in Cancun.
September 2015, we traveled from our home in Ohio to what we felt like home to us once again in Roatan, Honduras, where we stayed for a week at Hobby's Hideaway.
We had a lot of fun with Patrick kayaking and doing all of the hard work.
Costa Rica was our next family adventure in 2016. We stayed at the Dreams Resort, fed monkeys, had black sand between our toes, and ziplined through the jungle.
The kids had a blast while I hung upside down watching their crazy mother. Another business trip was underway just a few years later for us to Riviera Maya, Mexico. We snorkeled, seen sea turtles, all while staying at the Secrets Resort.
Amy also tried to practice a couple yoga moves underwater.
A huge door opened for us finally to buy a building for Floors by George to call our own. So with a little construction, not only did we finally have a warehouse, but Living Waters also had a place to call its own as well. We were very happy with the end result after much hard work as a family. We had Floors by George a home and Living Waters.
Another yoga retreat was underway, and we traveled back to Royal Decameron in Montego Bay, Jamaica in 2016. One of the highlights of the trip was snorkeling with Captain Polly.
Later in 2016, we made a long road trip to the Florida Keys for a family vacation and stayed at the Ocean Point Suites condos.
While in the Keys, we fed fish to the tarpon at Robbie's, and Amy also got to do some yoga again.
We celebrated 18 years of marriage in Puerto Vallarta at the Occidental Resort in 2016.
Christmas 2016, we decided to take a trip to Puerto Vallarta with the kids this time and stayed at the Jalisco Rio.
Cancun 2017 was another business trip for us. When we stayed at the Hyatt Zivia in Cancun, we seen dolphins, we drove speedboats through the mangroves, and we also went out for a night on the town to have some fun and to go shopping. We also went snorkeling and seen some monuments underneath of the water, which was cool. And again, I got to do some yoga.
Yet another yoga retreat in the books at El Cozumel in Cozumel, June 2017.
On the road again in 2017 to the Keys in Florida, we rented a house in Marathon because we loved it so much. The family enjoyed paddleboarding, kayaking, fishing, swimming, and seeing manatees.
19 years of being with each other meant going back to the place that has felt like home to us since 2008. So this time we decided to look at homes to buy for our future.
Lots happened between Roatan, Honduras trip and what happened next. Patrick and Gabrielle both had orthopedic surgery and then some light at the end of the tunnel. January 2018, we bought a house in Roatan, Soul Living. Back to Jamaica again in 2018 for a business trip and a little R&R. We stayed at the Secrets Resort, and then after the business trip, we spent a few days at our favorite hangout, the Royal Decameron. In 2018, Pat went on a deep-sea fishing trip to the Gulf of Mexico. A short few days later, we were on a plane flying to El Cozumel again in Cozumel for a family vacation.
November 2018 was a trip to get some work done on Soul Living, the Roatan house, and we did have a little fun too. I got to hold a sloth at a petting zoo in Sandy Bay right down the street from our house.
I got to paddleboard, and we also went to West End, and I was able to do some yoga in West Bay, as well as buy a donut from the donut lady. The monkeys like to take selfies.
2019, we went back to Soul Living, this time not to work, but to have a little fun. I also got scuba certified. Amy got her normal vitamin D therapy and took her friend and Gabrielle to see the monkeys, sloth, and birds.
This July 4th, we spent on a family vacation to the Now Emerald in Cancun, Mexico. We had a lot of fun creating memories as a family. From 1975 to where we are now, it seems like a lifetime ago. But our journey is just getting started. So subscribe and follow us and our family so y'all can see what's next while we're living our best life, or at least trying to.